If I offend you, I'm so sorry. Yeah, which is so funny. And this morning it's been warm. Well, it's been sunny, it's bright, which is nice. Me and Ellie went for a walk as usual, but we went like a different route. And we came up onto like some private land. Um, and I feel like I'm discovering these new places where I can go jogging whenever I want to go jogging. And that is really good. There was like lots of farmland and lots of people that live in big houses. I didn't see the people, just see the big houses. They all these. Why do big houses have names? Like, make it make sense. Yeah, they all have names. You know what I mean? If it's a big house, it has a name, but it's not like like you would call it like I don't know, Clarendon House or Park House. But it's not necessarily like it's not well. It is definitely not open to the public. It's a house where people live in, but because it's big and it's huge and it's a big house, big yard and whatever. Do they call it yard here? I don't think they do. It has a name. Yeah, so stuff like that. And so today it's one of them days where it's a Saturday. I also call my friend Lavrine. We used to go to high school together. Funny enough, she lives there. Um, it's funny. And then when I was coming back, I saw these two ladies, and I stopped and spoke to them because I just wanted to ask them where the road lead to. Because obviously, I didn't do like the entire length of the walk of where the road led to. I mean, they were like the roads were really built really well. On one side there was farmland, and then the other side there was people's houses. Um, oh, hardly any cars came. I think there was one car, and I had to hold Ellie so that keep her to the side of the road. So when I was just ending my walk, so I was coming back out to where I start, I saw these two ladies. They obviously was beginning their walk. So I stopped to ask them, like where these roads lead to, because I didn't go all the way to the end. If you walk all the way up, there was like a T, so it's like a T junction, one way and the other way. Obviously, I went one way. Um, and because I stopped to ask them this question, I mean, they told me, then we just started talking and they realized that I lived in the area. And they're my age, they're moms. One of them is a teacher. I don't remember what the other one is. I think she also works at the school, but not a teacher, not as a teacher. And they're both moms, they're married. And then I just had to say to them, like, it's so cool because obviously I'm not married, I don't have kids. I do want kids or a kid, and I'm 43. And I feel like this is what I want to address. This is what I want to talk to, but I don't want to talk about it in like a stressful manner or like I'm desperate. I mean, desperation is not bad. It's part of life. It's human, not that you should be desperate for hope for your entire life. I feel like that's impossible, because after a while you're just going to get old. What are you going to be desperate for? Like to die? But I also want to express that softness about me as a woman, especially as a Black woman, because I think sometimes we're portrayed as not being soft. And I also want to express myself in that way because of a Black influencer that I follow called Jackie Aina. I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly, where she expressed that on her page. And I love that, and because I'm assuming it's not just me that have followed her and like that for her, and like how she portrays that for us, that we're capable of doing that. Not that we didn't know, but sometimes I feel like we think we can't, or we don't have the space, or if we do, people will look at us differently. I think with anyone, any human, we do worry what people think. I think we have, and that is because of how we are taught as kids. We have this fear, we have this, when you're a kid, you do things to please your parents, and it's just what we do. We do things to please our parents. We don't want to say that we do, but that is what we do. And if we don't, we're punished for it. And when you have to go out into the outside world, we kind of expect that too. I find myself doing that sometime, and you have to and the thing is, when you become an adult and you realize adulting is a thing, you have to unlearn that, right? That's the thing with going into therapy or with just working on yourself, however you do it. And maybe you don't realize, I think sometime we don't realize we that is what we're doing, or that is what we have to do to move forward, to achieve whatever you want to achieve. We have to unlearn what we were taught, or how, and stuff like that. Because also, because it's sometimes what we tend to do, we tend to apply the same formula um to an area, or to a circumstance, or wherever you find yourself in at what point in your life, the same formula that you'd apply when you were in your 20s. You know what I mean? Like, you could have been somewhere completely different environment in your 20s, and you were applying that same formula that you applied in your 20s, and now you're in your 30s. I mean, also, you're in your 30s, you're not in your 20s. Your thought process is going to change. It's natural. And sometimes we beat ourselves up about it. It's like, oh, but it works. Like, well, you were 20 then, you're not 20 now. You know what I mean? And that doesn't mean, I don't like saying oh, you should grow up. Like, bitch, that has nothing to do with growing up. Okay, not a thing. But like, I think sometimes we don't realize, and someone has to point that out to us. And that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of being in contact with other people. That's the beauty of the reaction you get from people. And if you're that type of person that is willing to learn, then you'll maybe go into your space, into your wherever that space is, that quiet space is, and thinking like, you know what, that person was actually really trying to help me. So, as you know, this area, this thing that I'm trying to start, this token section, I don't have a name for it yet, but I'm thinking of calling it something, and I will let you know in the future. But for now, let's just give you some mini videos. Okay, look, watch out, something is going to start in the future, in the very near future. Let me even add another very to it, very, very, very near future. And I don't have a name for it yet. But I have a name. I have a few names. I have a few names for it. And I kind of what I want to present is my take on things as a woman, as a female, who identifies as a woman, also as someone that is single, dating out here in the world, hoping that I'm not single forever. But I still want to talk about that, like just being a female, being Black, but I don't want to stress about it too much. Being Jamaican, growing up in Jamaica, having parents who have suffered trauma, maybe who don't believe they've suffered trauma, and someone like me who dealing with my trauma, not their trauma. But I don't want to also let it define me. Someone who's been through therapy, still in therapy, someone who is into her fitness. Sometimes I am down, I'm also a dog mom, I have my dog. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about, like, I like the idea of being cosmopolitan. I like fashion in my own way. My mom taught me a lot about that. I want to talk about, like, my brother and my sister, but I don't want to stress about it because I'm also on my own path. I want to talk about my parents giving me the name Hebron. That can ruffle some feathers because of what's going on in Gaza, because my name is Hebron. I also want to talk about music and stuff like that. I want to talk about liking Avril Lavigne. Love Avril Lavigne, love her music. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about just loving old Bob, Dennis Brown. I want to talk about, like, reggae music. I will just go to, like, a reggae show on my own and dance and don't want no one to come wind up on me. I want to talk about the fact that I want to go to a carnival, maybe on my 45th, but before I I want to look like fit as fuck, and I want to go wear the two-piece and just do it for the culture, before I look all shriveled up. I think I would rather want to do, I'm thinking my 45th birthday, I want to do it. I am so free-spirited, and I want to talk about that. I want to talk about how free-spirited I am, and all before I thought it was not. I kind of feel like I don't want to blame anyone that I was stopped, or I was told to not be free-spirited, or I was told to not be like this. I don't want to stress on that. it was never something that was entertained. No. And when I say it was never something, I'm talking about my personal life, with my mom and dad. And it's, but I don't want to talk about it in a way that it was negative by them. I don't want to stress that. Because you realize, as I said, and this is going back to what I said with being adult, adulting. You are adulting. It's all part of the package. So I want to talk about that. I want to talk about I like a good murder. I like a murder show. My mom, me and my mom used to sit on and watch like Perry Mason, Agatha Christie, anything by Agatha Christie, like Poirot, a Murder She Wrote, Miss Marple, Columbo. Oh my God, I love a Columbo. I want to talk about the fact that I have the entire box set of Columbo. I really, really do. I have the entire box set of Columbo. I have the entire box set of Miss Marple. I have the entire box set of Poirot. I bought them physically, like I have the DVDs. Who watch DVDs? No one. I don't think so. I want to talk about like looking after your skin, looking after your body. I want to talk about I would just want to talk about the average thing, like getting older, man, like in your 40s. Like, don't you think you take longer to get ready? I want to talk about that. I want to talk about, like, I travel by train to go to work. I want to talk about, like, me taking my porridge on the fucking train and have my porridge, I make my porridge, and me getting ready in the morning, having to make sure Ellie gets her walk, and me doing all of that shit. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about dating and having a dog. Like, what is up with that? Like, like, black guys don't want to date me because I have a dog. You know what I mean? Like, that is a no for them. Or they kind of wonder, what do I do with the dog? What am I going to do with the dog? Is the dog going to be part of our life? And he's like, we haven't reached that further yet. I need to like you first. But you're worried about my dog. Dating in this, dating online, like, where else am I going to meet someone? I don't go to church. That's another thing I want to talk about, like, apparently older men, are older men in church? I don't know, are they? Well, I ain't coming in there for them, but like, I want to talk about that, like dating. Like, I don't want to talk about, like, I date outside of my race also, and I want to talk about also that, like, are they trying to date me, or do they want to date me because they've never tried a black girl before? The stuff they say, the dates that I go on, and I'm like, I remember I went on a date once and I was just like, it wasn't even 5 minutes. Like, the man put his arm around. Why are you putting your arms around me? Like, you know what, this is not gonna work. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about my love for Converse, the colors, because I don't wear heels. Like, I'm not a heels girl. God, I want to talk about that. There's all these female lovely things that we go through, and we're just living our life. We're just living our best life, and we're doing it in such a way that is suitable for us, and we are just winning out here. I want to talk about that. Watch the space. Watch the space, because it's coming. Should I do a podcast? Should I do a podcast? What do you think? Because I think we won't say much. I need to come up with a name. Any suggestions? I already have some few suggestions that I think I'm definitely going to do. Anyways, I'm out.